Howdy Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Akatsuki no Yona, aka Yona of the Dawn, chapter 197. And my god, holy shit, last chapter totally explained a lot, and I'm gonna try and keep this recap short, but if it gets a little long, I'm sorry. So, last chapter, we found out that according to Kaisuke, King Eel, stabbed Yuhan and threw his body over a cliff. And to be real, I can totally believe it. I believe it, because remember, King Eel is blinded by grief that, you know, his wife was killed, and he was so obsessed over this prophecy and all that shit, and that's what their argument was about. So I could totally believe that. In regards to Kashi, that's the one where I'm really torn about. Like, part of me wants to believe, okay, I can see, you know, where Eel's coming from. I totally can. But at the same time, it's like, why would Yuhan kill his wife's best friend? He practically worships his wife. Why would he do that? To me, it don't make sense. He would never do anything to, like, make his wife feel like shit, especially since his wife is sick and is dying. So yeah, to me that did not make sense. The thing that really got me, and apparently according to people in my comment section, a lot of people were like really disturbed by Suwon's reaction to the whole thing. I thought Suwon's reaction was incredible, and it was smart. It's amazing for a kid his age to react to it, but that's his father's genes. Because remember, Yuhan was a fucking genius. He's a military genius. But Suwon was all about, you know, continuing his father's legacy. And he was thinking the way, and he was always in his father's military meetings and shit. So I don't blame him for thinking that way. But I really, because, like, they could have done some really crazy shit. Like, Suwon could have cried like he was a kid his age. He could have done what, like, the people in his group wanted to do, which is go retaliate. And he like, nah, we ain't doing no emotional shit. Nah, we're gonna wait and play this out, see what happens. And if shit isn't going right the way that my father would want, then we'll make a move. And we'll play executioner. We'll make judgment then. And, you know, I liked what Lady Yanhi said. You know, Yanhi asked, what about Yona? Where does she fit in this? And this is what really got me, and I loved Suwon's answer. He's like, you know what? Yona and King Eel are separate things. I ain't punishing Yona for something King Eel did. Nah. Yona's gonna be judged separately. She her own person. I was like, yeah! That's right. I like the way Suwon was thinking. I know people are thinking it's disturbing, but man, I gotta give major props. That's the right way to think about this shit. So, at least that's my opinion on the whole thing. Anyway, it looks like we're done with the flashback and we're getting back to the main story, which in all reality, that flashback arc was perfection. I'm very happy we got it. It answered a lot of questions. Still have some questions, but majority of our questions were really answered. But let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us this month. There's Yona. Mother was murdered by Uncle Yuhan, and that's why Father killed him. It says here that I wasn't riding in the carriage, but was attacked, but it must have been because Mother felt something and didn't allow me to. She protected me. That's the one, again, as I said at the start, that's the one thing that's kind of iffy. I'm still iffy about that one. To an extent, I don't believe it. The headaches get more unbearable with each day, and it's become hard for me to remain conscious. I'm bound to leave this world before long. This memoir, which I've inconspicuously put down, is the humble fruit of my resolve to entrust my recollections to you, my lord, before the light of the mind abandons me. I've tasked my trusted medical officer, Suime, to see to it that it reaches your hands. Your Majesty, Eel! Oh my god! forgive the abrupt one-sided delivery of matters of such a nature, as well as the feeble calligraphic skill that issued forth the unsightly jumble of words. If perchance your majesty holds in contempt all that pertains myself and Lord Yuhan, please find your satisfaction in consigning this written account to flames. This memoir was not originally in Suwon's, but in father's possession? What? Wait, what? I merely write this out of a desire to prevent the future that may befall your majesty and Yona, by all means necessary. Since that day, the retainers who have been strongly attached to Lord Yuhan have been steadily gathering at our residence. My grasp of the circumstances of those personages is limited, but what appear to be officials from the castle have been coming and going, and at their center is Suwon. Suwon did not mention your majesty to me a second time after that. I have no ways of knowing in what regards that child holds your majesty now. No, from now on. I was deeply frightened at the time when that child, without so much as a change of his countenance, asked, "Do you want to kill His Majesty Eel?" I did not want to believe that sort of utterance had sprung forth from my gentle Suwon. But while that showed how little I knew about that child, all the behavior he puts on display fails to deceive me in spite of whatever form. Now that I am in the face of death, I feel that I am capable of confronting the truth about that child. I've loved that child most dearly. However much I think about it, that alone is not changed. I love this art, this background art. If so, why is it that I have decided to convey this memoir to you, my lord? Something that is sure to imperil Suwon's position. You must entertain that question at this point. In the past, towards the Lord High Priest, I harbored a misguided view and a feeling akin to prejudice. I made a mistake that could have been avoided. Yeah, you shouldn't have gone to the fucking temple in the first place. You should have avoided it. If you would have never gone to the temple, none of this would have happened. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. I think eventually it would have happened. They would have found her. Whether it would have been the priests or Eel. They would have found her. Or, fuck, even their father. They would have found her and her secret would have gotten out. Yuan could have tried to hide her all he wanted. But her secret would have gotten out somehow. That is the truth. That is the truth, perhaps. Had I understood the Lord High Priest, had we been able to meet halfway... I'm sorry. There's no way you were going to be able to meet with that priest halfway. That priest was fucking obsessed with the dragon blood, crimson dragon blood. There's no way he was gonna meet halfway. No freaking way. He just wanted to meet her family. There's no way they would have been able to compromise. No way. You could have tried. Don't get me wrong. You could have tried, but there's no. At least based on what we saw of the priest. It didn't seem like there was any way to compromise. Had we been able to meet halfway, had I begged Lord Yuhan, had I wielded my influence more, a tragedy might have never occurred. This art is fantastic, but I think even if... Okay, I will say this. If Yanni would have spoke up more and yielded her influence on Lord Yuhan, do I think the priest would have been brutally murdered? No, I don't think they would have. I think there would have been, I think if Yanni would have said, look, don't kill the priest. Just tell them, look, stay the hell away from the family. Just leave them alone. They don't want to be, we promised them, when I brought Yanni to the castle, we would leave them alone. Just leave them alone. You know you want to talk to them, but leave them alone. We ain't gonna tell you where they are. Just leave them. If you would have, the people, from her home, and they were ecstatic about the priest and shit like that. But I don't know, like, it's very, very complicated. This whole thing is really, really complicated. To me, from what we saw with the priests, I really feel like I don't think you could reason with these priests because they were so excited about finding someone with crimson blood. But I still think that there could have been their deaths could have been prevented. Yes, I believe that. If there was an intervention with them to be like, look, they want to be left alone. They've made it clear they want to be left alone. We made a promise about this. Just leave them be. Let them live alone. They believe they got cursed blood. They have a sickness. They just want to be left in peace. I think it would have been a different story. I want to break this chain of death. I don't want for there to be any lingering hatred. Not only between Suwon and Your Majesty, but between Suwon and Yona. Well, between Suwon and King Eel, that's kind of too late. It's too late for that. Between Suwon and Yona, it's not too late for that. I think the hatred between Suwon and Yona, I think by reading this diary, I think Yona's hatred for Suwon is kind of waning. And I think it's been waning for a while based on the actions we've been seeing from Suwon. But again, I could be wrong. You let me know your thoughts on that. My voice will find no echo in Suwon. Oh god, this panel. I love the symbolism in the art in these panels, especially in the background. My god, it's fantastic. My voice will find no echo in Suwon. Your Majesty, there's no way. Your Majesty Eel, could you somehow find a path of reconciliation for the sake of our children? No fucking way Eel was gonna do that. No way. In view of the little time I have left, forgive me for thinking of nothing but my own convenience. The truth is that when we met for the last time, I wished for us to talk more. May Your Majesty Eel reign overflow with unceasing joy. The memoir ends here. Lady Yanni asked Father for reconciliation. But what did Father think of this? If he read this, he must have known Suwon would come for his life one day. It mustn't be Suwon. No matter how much you wish it, I cannot give you Suwon. He said that because he knew or because he's Uncle Yuhan's son. Did he bear a lingering grudge? Yeah, he did! That's what it was. Oh, it was definitely... I think it was both. You know what? I'm going to amend that statement. I think it was both. It was definitely both. There's something inside the bookmark. This is Father's hand... What? Father's handwriting? Why is it in the bookmark? Dear Miss Yanni, I wonder whether you have already departed. This is a letter addressed to Lady Yanni. What? Knowing that it may fail to even if I write it on something like this, I could not stop my tears upon reading your letter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna read this translation note here. Japanese letters have a drier style and omit politeness formulae like dear, but it would sound awkward in English without it. This translation is effectively what he said. It's strange to write to someone who, obviously only read if they're not deceased, but less so if we consider this letter may have never been actually sent. Anyway, I wanted to read. I thought that would be important to read. Anyway. Knowing that if it may fail to even if I write it on something like this, I cannot stop my tears upon reading your letter. I faced you through your writing, as I face myself now. Finding yourself caught up in the many years of estrangement between us brothers has weighed heavily on your heart. You seem to have been blaming yourself for the suppression of the priest and this. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. And the severing of your ties, but you are mistaken. From our tender years, be it our disposition of our ways of thinking, we have been at variance. I had never let it put me off that I did not excel as my elder brother did, nor enjoy the same love of the people. But when you, someone of the same stock as the Crimson Dragon King, made your appearance, a a sordid envy poured forth from me all at once. Still, that was not your fault. There was no mutual trust between us brothers, because what was precious to my elder brother and what was precious to me differ completely. The same applied to the things we had no desire to experience that were they were mutually exclusive. I knew that I was a cause of concern to elder brother. However, because since long before I had been a dismal failure at speaking up to him, my body would tremble. I would be at a loss for words, and I would end up blurting out things that were not what I really ought to say. No matter how many years pass by, I shall regret that memory. That Yona was the reincarnation of the Crimson Dragon King, or that Kashi was her exalted mother. Those were not the things I wanted to tell him, that I wanted him to understand. I loved Kashi to the depth of my heart. Oh my god. And the translation, though, is me right now, too. The sounds that you're listening to are the heads exploding as Eel the Loveless Cultist goes down in flames. Holy shit. Just as you were more precious than anything to my elder brother, I wanted him to believe that I too had someone who was irreplaceable, and that she had not swindled me or anything of the kind. This is why I don't believe Yuan killed Kashi. I just don't fucking believe it. I don't believe it. I think the reason Lord Eel said he was happy was that he'd been blessed with a red-haired child. Now that I think of it, I never conveyed my feelings to Kashi clearly. I was astonished when I read your memoir, and now there is no longer a way to convey them. Because she was a shrine maiden, I had thought everything would come to pass in accordance to her visions. Miss Yanhi, this is how I am, inexperienced like I am, cowardly like I am. I am scarcely able to bring myself to make a move, let alone other people. I do not need anyone to tell me that. I am not up to the task of being a king. I shall without fail be found wanting by your esteemed oh wait. We're so shit. I shall be without fail be found waiting by your esteemed son's judgment, and I shall be murdered by him. That too was prophesied by Kashi! What? Wait, what? So good. Wait, what? Oh my god! But I shall not repel his attack. When that day comes, I shall accept it, and I shall not carry a weapon decidedly so. I shall decline to fight. I do not want to kill a second time. What? Well, dude! This fucking explains a lot. Oh my god. Kashi did tell me I would become father to the Crimson Dragon King. I felt as if the reasons behind my fascination with the Crimson Dragon King had been thus validated. I was uplifted. But I had never wished to become the king myself. The only strong resolve I had was that my elder brother alone must never become king. What? He just didn't want the man that killed all the priests to become king. Okay, I see it. I am a placeholder until the next king rises, until Yona eventually gathers the 4 dragons. But I can do as I am now to raise the reborn Crimson Dragon King Yona protected from harm. I shall not allow grief like I felt for Kashi happen a second time. Being unable to deposit my faith on people after Kashi passed away, I have kept as few as possible by my side. Yona has been waiting for Suwon with an air of loneliness about her. But I find it difficult to approach Suwon. It must not be he. No matter what, it must not be he. That was also in your memoir, no? Suwon said he will not put Yona's box up. That choice of his, too, might be fate, but the knowledge that upon my death he will discard Yona is something I cannot accept. Even if one day Yona will become lonely, I want to place by her side someone who will treasure her more than anyone else. Oh, he did that. He did that all right. Someone who will never betray her no matter what happens. Miss Yanni, as far as you are concerned, which, let's be real, Kashi did that with Hack. As far as you are concerned, I must be an enemy, and you wished happiness upon me. Sometimes it feels as if I'm about to be crushed by an oppression and grief akin to darkness. At times, like those, I unconsciously turn my mind's eye towards my elder brother. That surprises me a little. And he gives me his high-handed advice, just like always, but I'm strangely able to reply frankly in the way I had wanted to speak. Why that is so, I can only wonder. Even though this memoir contains nothing but bitter recollections, as it bears the vestiges of a person who is no longer among us, I have no intention to burn it. Oh my God. Oh my God! So, Eel feels regret. He feels like shit. Good, I'm glad he feels like shit. But the thing that really this doesn't surprise me to an extent, because remember what Yuan said, that at the very start, Yuan and Eel have been at odds since they were kids. So this rivalry, this grudge, I don't think this really surprised anybody. It was just when he killed the priest was when it really hit the fan. So yeah, this does not surprise me. But the fact that Kashi predicted his death. Wow. So yeah, we did get the confirmation about Eel killing Yuhan. We did get that confirmation. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, that I shouldn't be skeptical about Kashi's death and all that. I'm still skeptical about it, alright? I am. I really am. I'm gonna probably remain skeptical about it until otherwise. But, wow. This really explained a lot. I feel like, on Eel's side of everything, I feel like we got closure. I really do. I really, really do. But I'm really curious what you guys think about what Yanni said. About what if she intervened more? If this would have prevented, Yuhan going and killing the priest and all that. Do you think there could have been a compromise? I think yes and no, as I said, because remember, those priests were obsessed. Because those priests were like cult level. Yes, I know it's religion, and so, to an extent, you could make the argument that like some religions go to like cult levels of nuts. But these priests were definitely up there in cult, and I feel like there was basically no way to stop them. But I feel like if they really cared about the people that have the Crimson King's Dragon's blood, if they really cared about them and worshipped them and respected them, if you would have told them that they wanted to be left alone, I think they would have respected it. At least in my opinion. Otherwise, it proves to them that they're in it for other reasons. That's my opinion anyway. I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdarkins Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive so I can keep bringing you more Yona content, there's a few ways you could do that. You can donate to my Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.